What if I told you that powerful people have secretly used hoodoo and rootwork to control elections, protect themselves, and gain influence? And it's still happening today. For centuries, hoodoo has been used as a tool of power, whether through spiritual protection, domination rituals, or justice work. From the great rootworkers of history to modern political figures who still seek spiritual guidance, hoodoo and politics have always been connected. Let's get into it. Let's start with one of the most legendary figures, Marie Laveau. She wasn't just a voodoo queen, she had the political and legal system of New Orleans in the palm of her hand. Laveau was known for her ability to influence judges, police officers, and even local politicians. She was rumored to have worked hoodoo rituals that swayed court cases and protected high-ranking officials from scandal. Her work wasn't just spiritual, it was political. She knew that controlling power meant controlling the people who ran the city. And then we have Garvey, a leader of the Pan-African movement in the early 1900s. What most people don't know is that Garvey was deeply involved with hoodoo and African spiritual traditions. Many of his followers were rootworkers and conjurers, who used spiritual protection work to shield him from harm. There were even rumors of rituals performed to keep his movement strong against government sabotage. But it didn't stop there. The civil rights movement itself had deep spiritual protection elements rooted in hoodoo. Before marches and protests, activists were anointed with oils, scriptures were recited for protection, and rootworkers performed rituals to guard them against violence. Some of the same Bible verses used in hoodoo today were spoken over civil rights leaders before they faced brutal attacks. Now, let's talk about today. You might think hoodoo in politics is a thing of the past, but it's not. Some politicians still consult spiritual advisors, not just for prayer, but for protection work and manifestation. Ever wonder why some leaders carry lucky charms? Why they light candles before speeches? Why they constantly recite specific prayers? These are techniques with deep hoodoo and rootwork connections. And in election years, spiritual rituals increase, whether through hoodoo, prayer groups, or other forms of spiritual work to gain favor and protection. And let's not forget that hoodoo has always been about justice. There are still people today who use hoodoo rituals, like Psalm 35 work, to expose corruption and bring balance to the system. So how does this all tie back to you? Hoodoo has always been a tool for power, not just in politics, but in everyday life. People have used rootwork for centuries to protect themselves, attract success, and manifest their goals. And in politics, where power is everything, spiritual tools are just as important as strategy. From spiritual baths for protection to candle rituals for success, these practices are still alive and being used by those who understand their power. This is just the tip of the iceberg. If you want to learn the real spiritual power behind hoodoo, rootwork, and political influence, grab my ebook Unlocking Hoodoo, link is in the description. And let me know in the comments, do you think hoodoo still influences politics today? Let's talk about it.